Hey everyone, and welcome to another M&D podcast episode. I'm Duncan, and with me is Momo.
Hi everybody. If you watched our first episode and if you watch this one, you will probably notice that format in this episode will be a little bit different compared to our last episode. We are doing this for the first time and we wanna try some new things. Try to find format that we feel like is best and least boring or most fun, however you wanna look at it.
Yes, we are basically making this for people to enjoy, so we are just trying. It's our first and second episode, so we're trying different styles.
Yes, we noticed maybe that we did maybe too much retelling of what actually happened in chapter, and we feel that that is useless because you just read that chapter, you know what actually happened. We will maybe focus more on things that you might not notice in that chapter, and we will try to explain those a little bit more.
Yes, and we will follow less of chronologically how things are happening, but we will just give you sort of overall feel of the chapter. I think that's a little bit more interesting than just following event by event.
We would like also to hear which method you prefer more. I
Yes,
think you will
definitely,
prefer
guys.
this, to be honest.
Yes, I at least prefer this type. But if you guys still prefer that we go, each chapter event by event, of course, you just write in the comments and, we might find some kind of compromise.
Yeah, of course.
So, shall we start with the second chapter? Because last
Yeah,
episode we ended with
yeah,
first.
yeah. Chapter 2 start with Big Bang.
And you should notice actually a couple of things in second chapter. First, you should notice that it's 2 years time skip. Second thing
Again.
that yeah, and second thing that you should notice is that we are now on different continent. We are now on Genobakis. And another thing that you should notice, and this is kind of Malazan style of writing, you meet full new cast of characters. And this happens really often. It's not just, from chapter to chapter, or, you might expect that after you meet 100 characters that it's gonna stop and stabilize. No.
Man, this is, skipping between characters, completely different cast of character between chapters is nothing. Wait till you come to book 2 and start reading like nobody from book 1 is almost present in book 2.
I think the biggest shock to me was actually in book 5 when I was reading cast,
Yes,
and
that
members of
was
that book,
worse.
and there was nobody that
I
I
mean,
knew. I'm like, is
don't
this
get
same universe?
don't get me wrong, it was, I really liked book 5, but when I read Dramatis Personae of book 5, I left it lying down for like 2 weeks because I didn't know almost single character in Dramatis Personae of book 5 that I met in 4 books that I already read.
At the first time, it might be a little bit overwhelming, but later this is more appreciated because the universe is bigger, the
You know,
world is
you
bigger.
you know how I look at this, man. In other fantasy books, like characters are driving force, world is there. But here, man, characters are nothing. World is main. How can I explain it? Force. Characters are
Yes,
just there filling it. They are not important. I mean, they are, but not really.
not compared to other books at least, and I
Yes.
kind of like that style. Okay, so what? Okay, so Let's go back to second chapter.
I think this is good time to explain a little bit hierarchy of at least
Okay,
mages.
let's you do this.
In near future, we will meet high mages, and Tatter and Kalot and Hairlock, who we will meet very soon, they are cadre mages. They are lower. Eventually, if they live long enough and if they are strong enough, they will become high mages. That is highest position mage can acquire in Malazan Empire.
Yes,
Simple as
and
that.
what you need to also understand that even between high mages, it's not like every high mage is similar power or anything like that.
I will tell you one advice, guys. When you read books, fantasy books, magic system is there are like in most books there is like ice, water, fire, those kind of magic. Here, I think there are 50 to 60 types of magic, probably even more.
Yes.
So don't try to wrap your hand around it yet. Just go with the flow. There are so many different types of magics that you simply cannot keep track of them
If
all.
you try to do that, it will lead you to nowhere. You will just get frustrated and confused. Just slowly take
Yes.
it as it is, and eventually it will build up enough information in your mind where you will be comfortable, when you read anything about mages.
But anyway, I wanna speak little about Tatter because she is one of the central players in this first book. Not in my opinion, she definitely is. But I'm confused about her, man. She is described as, now people don't disagree here. Is she chubby or is she like really fat?
I don't know. I think in this age and era, it's dangerous even speaking about this material because of all this. Do we accept fatness? Is it?
Man, I don't give a damn. I'm just curious because maybe it's implied that she's fat, but everybody. I don't give a damn what people think. I'll say what I
I
wanna
was not
say.
expecting that.
Screw them. I'm sorry, guys, but thing is, man, maybe she is described a little bit, fat, fleshy. She have, like those, but everybody is also attracted to her. I think every male is kind of attracted to her.
So let me just give you my opinion then. If you don't care about anybody.
Maybe they are into fat chicks, or maybe she's not that fat.
So this is my opinion how I imagined her. I imagined her really attractive but not skinny. And there are girls like that.
Like Brazilian.
I think even more. Like not just Brazilians have those hourglass figure. But I don't think she's like that. I think she's overall just chubby but kinda in an attractive way. And that's how I imagined her.
Yeah, because people were really arguing on some forum that I was, how she's really fat, and I couldn't imagine her being that fat because I clearly remember that lot of males were really attracted to her. Paran, one of them, and he is attractive guy, himself. But that's a little bit later on.
She changed several guys actually 2 guys in first book, if I remember correctly. So
she's on the roll.
She apparently doesn't have issue finding dudes. And then they get invitation to a high mage meeting, and she's really nervous. We don't know why she's nervous about this, because we are in the second chapter.
Soon.
We do not understand this book. We don't understand anything. But she is really nervous. And then in this meeting, we learn a lot of information about what the hell is going on. What war, who's fighting who.
First I wanna talk little bit about war. Here we finally get a glimpse at how this war is actually going. And I wanna talk about that because on the first look it seemed like Malazan is dominating. There were 12 free cities on this continent, and only 2 are left unoccupied. Malazan already occupied all the other ones. So one is Pale, another is Darujistan, which we will speak about later. And this Pale is being besieged for I think 3 years already.
Yes, it's under siege for 3 years.
And if you just look at it like this, it seems that Malazan is winning this easily, but that is actually not the case. If you should continue, I think, Duncan.
Yes, but basically this is just how you should approach not only Malazan, but generally in wars. And in this case, as you read more and more, I don't want to spoil it, but this war is much more messy, much more complicated, and just try to wrap your head around this. This is just one continent. Malazan Empire is leading wars on several continents, several places. So if they are winning a little bit here on the paper, that means pretty much nothing. So don't try to, especially if you are first time reader, don't try to, keep score. Okay, they have 10 cities, there are 2 left. Okay, so that means they are winning here. Just abandon that type of thinking and focus just, freely reading and taking information. I think that this would help you to maybe like Malazan book a little bit more.
Yes, we also find out some of the enemies, at least central figures, leaders of the not enemies, opposition of Malazan, because in this book there are no enemies in, usual sense of way. And we learn their names, Caladan Brood and
Yes.
Anomandris, who is Anomandareg. He have many names.
And I think there is even mention of Crimson Army, Prince Kaz, and Kalur. I think they are all mentioned.
Yes, but we don't know much about them. But what we know is that just mention of Anomandareg name got everybody afraid.
Yes, and these are mages, guys. Like I said, this is meeting of mages, and I think Dujak was with them. He's the only guy that was not mage in this room.
Yes, and he's High Fist.
Yes, he's High Fist. He's general. He's basically counterpart to Caladan Brood in this war. Caladan Brood is main general of this campaign of the enemy, and Dujak is the main general of the Malazan Empire army. But Caladan Brood is not here in this siege of Pale. Caladan Brood is somewhere else.
Yes, he's on. I mean, he's on same continent, just on like different battlefield, different front.
Actually, this is when I was first reading Malazan. The feeling I got about this war is that the opposition, Caladan Brood, the Crimson Guard, that they are losing because they were somehow spread thin. They couldn't afford a lot of army to defend every free city, every area. And that's why I was kind of having this impression that Malazan Empire is actually winning. Because this is, guys, we are going into event, the Siege of Pale. Finally is at hold, they are going full force to attack the Siege of Pale. And your main commander is not present there. That should tell you something, that, they simply do not have the resources to master the strongest people, even at strongest events. And that's why I thought that Malazan Empire was winning, which might be true or might be not. I don't want to spoil it.
But there are also, here we meet another important character in the first book, and his name is Hairlock.
You know how I feel about Hairlock?
Man, I don't feel nice when he is around there.
Yes, but to me, he is almost like a mascot of first book. I don't know why, but
he kinda is, especially at the end of this chapter for me. But he is unlikable guy. I think even Tatter from the very beginning she sense like she doesn't feel comfortable with him.
To who I wanna give biggest credit for this?
To who?
To Erikson, because if you read this chapter and when you first meet Hairlock, he doesn't say anything directly to make you hate this guy.
Yes, but you feel uneasy about him.
Yes,
you don't hate him right away.
And that's why, to me, Erikson is great at this.
Yes.
I also felt somehow hatred for this Hairlock. I really disliked him.
I didn't felt hatred. I just didn't felt like easy around when he was there.
Get this guy
there
away
was some
from
pressure.
Me. Yeah.
And he seemed in this chapter he seemed very, very knowledgeable. He knew things that surprised even Taisheren. And maybe we didn't mention this already. Taisheren he is high mage, but he's not just any high mage. He is like they even mention it. I'm not sure if it's in this chapter or one of the next one, that if Adjunct Lorne is right hand of Empress, then Taisheren is her left hand. So that means he is one of the most important person, one of the most powerful people in this empire. Also, they are, all these cadre mages, they are really not happy with what they are planning to do right now.
Yes, they are nervous. Well, of course they are nervous. I think we should explain what this moonspawn is. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, you go.
So this thing is almost like let's try to imagine a mountain upside down, and I will try to have a picture on the video that will explain how this looks.
And it's floating.
Yes, it's floating in the air and it's huge. And inside of this moonspawn there is a legend, and that's why they still didn't attack, because apparently there is some lord who lives in this moonspawn, and he's extremely powerful. So just his presence, he was 3 years standing above this city of Pale, and that was the sole reason why Malazan still didn't attack them.
And now we finally come to central event of this this chapter, and that is Battle of Pale.
And this is my favorite part. This is favorite part of the book for me, at least, because first of all, nobody even today know exactly what happened at Pale, except probably for Erikson, because there are holes, and we just see point of view of Tattersail in this fight.
Yeah, no matter how you what is your theory, there will be holes in it.
Yes, it's really complicated what happened here, and there are actually I was reading on forum, and so many people have different opinions what happened here. There are many theories, but the most important thing I think here to realize is that maybe we simply don't have enough information, and that's also possible. If we don't have enough information, and we for sure don't have enough information what happened here, and maybe there is no mistake. Maybe simply we are not meant to know exactly what happened in this fight, but that will not stop us from theorizing.
Also, I wanna notice you that in this particular part we will spoiler something from future books.
Yes, because this is really
just
important.
for sake of trying to explain to you what happened, and we also have two different opinions of what happened here.
Yes.
But first Duncan will explain to you how it went, not how it went in a book, what happened.
Yes, I'm just gonna go
Then
step by step
theorize.
what happened from Tattersail's view. Then Momo will say his version, I will say my version, and I think that's kind of fun how to do it. So first thing that we see, the mages are set on 3 different hills. On the hill that is closest to Moonspawn is High Mage Tattern. He is strongest, of course, and he will lead attack. In the center, in the middle, are 3 High Mages, and these are also really powerful High Mages. One of them is called Belurdan. He's Teleman, really, this bulky, big, strong. He's not human.
It's another, like race.
Yes, so we meet new mage here. With him is his lover, female called Nightchill. So she is another person here. And the last is Acaronis, another high mage. He's, I think, described as short, a little bit fat man with the staff.
And he's old.
He's very old. And those are 3 high mages, really powerful. They are on Central Hill. On the final hill, furthest away from the Moonspawn, are our cadre mages. Tattersail, Kalot her lover, and Hairlock. So, you can see kind of logically how they rearranged it so that weakest are on the back. All around them, of course, are soldiers, because this is going to be full-on attack on city. So first thing that happened is Taichan, calls up his Warren. His Warren is Tyr, Warren of Light. And, he starts shooting some energy rays at Moonspawn, and he hits it, and he shakes the Moonspawn. And some great ravens appear out of Moonspawn, because he shook it. And there are so many ravens. Yeah, a lot of ravens appear. Yes. And another mages also calls up their own Warren. So I'm not gonna, go complicated here who spawned which Warren. You shouldn't really follow that closely right now. And they all start shooting towards the Moonspawn. And of course, finally, this mystical lord appears. And he's on the Moonspawn, and he's raising his hands, and he's calling for his Warren. And it's darkness. He shoots it down on them, and hell broke loose after this point. Unfortunately, from this point, it is said that Tattersail is completely lost. She doesn't have full focus because there are so many magic going on, and she's simply not strong enough to keep up.
To be honest, from the very beginning, she was afraid and kinda lost. Yes. But now, when all this started happening, she was even more lost.
So first casualty, of the mages at least, is Hairlock. He got swept by the wave of magic and he got split into half. The second casualty is on the next attack, and it's Kalot. He actually jumped and used his own power to protect Tattersail, and he also dies. Then Tattersail kinda looks on the other way, and she sees that Nightchill, this high mage, is being torn apart.
She realized at that moment, Tattersail realized that Kalot died from attack from behind them, not in front of them.
That's important detail. So, something is going on here. He died, but not from the enemy. So, the next moment we see that Nightchill is being torn apart by some demon. and then her lover Belladon run and kill that demon, and then Acaronis start creating some fire attack on the Moonspawn, and then he got also killed by ice attack. And then after all of that, a lot of magic going on, and battle kinda ends. That's all of the main events that really happened.
So, that this is very, very complicated. There are a lot of things that happen, right? In very short amount of time. So, shall I go first with my theory?
You can tell actually what, from where this theory is.
I will go on my piece. First of all, we need to notice that everybody is capable of using one type of magic. So, if somebody is using power of darkness like this Lord of Moonspawn is using Warren called Kurald Galain.
Yes, that's his Warren.
And it look literally like darkness.
Yes.
I wanted to say black magic, but it's not black magic. It's just rolling wave of darkness.
That's correct.
And we know also that Hairlock didn't die by that power. He died by some bright fire.
No. Hairlock died by cold magic.
Hairlock?
Yes, he got swept and it was cold magic.
Okay, so my bad here. We know that he died by cold magic. We also know that Acaronis, High Mage, he died by ice magic. And we also know that Nightchill died by demon. So, who did that? Right now, we don't know and we don't have way to know. We just know that one of them, or maybe two of them, or maybe more of them, kinda betray each other.
Yes.
But later on in book 3, I think, Tatter will actually admit from his point of view what will happen. Now, will you believe him or not? That is questionable. But what he claimed that happened is that Nightchill attacked Acaronis and those Cadre mages.
Yes, Nightchill is the one that attacked.
And she killed Hairlock, she killed Kalot, and she killed Acaronis, right?
Yes, so that's really crazy when you think about it.
And Tatter, when he saw that, and we will later find out that Tatter, part of his power is also he can summon demons.
Yes, that's something that you don't know when you read this part. But of course, we are gonna spoiler now because it's complicated. We have to.
Yes, but we will even find in at the end of this book that Tatter can actually do that.
It's Tatter's signature to spam demons.
Yes. So we know that Nightchill was killed by demon. So this all kind of fits, right?
Yes. So basically, what you are saying is,
there are questions here. Some of them.
Yes, but let's summarize it. Summarize it for people. What he's saying is that Nightchill killed everybody, betrayed them,
Yes.
and then Tatter killed her.
Yes, but there are questions here. Why would she do that? Later on, I will not spoiler this. She had good reason to actually do this.
Yes. Assume that
opinion.
Nightchill has good reason to betray everybody.
But there is problem here in this theory.
Yes. What is the problem?
Huge problem. It's timeline.
Okay, how?
Because Tatter, when she turned around, she first see Nightchill getting destroyed by demon.
Yes.
And then after that, Acaronis died twice.
Yes.
And that doesn't make any sense. And that is why people who believe in this theory say that Tatter was simply confused and mixed up timeline. That actually she first saw Acaronis die, but she was lost.
And she's recollecting, in her memory, wrong order.
Yes.
So either that or
Steven Erikson made a mistake
in the first book
when he was writing this, and to be honest, he never clarified it. People were asking him a lot of times to clarify this, or even will he rewrite book 1, but he said that book is written perfectly.
It's perfect as it is, and he don't see reason why she should rewrite it.
So that is my theory.
And this theory is widely accepted by community because it's official theory, and actually it's backed up by Tatter, who is one of the survivors of this event.
There is, I think, no reason for Tatter to lie there, because even if he killed them all, they wouldn't be able to do nothing to
Okay,
him.
so I'm gonna, my theory is a little bit different. I was thinking a lot about it. And it's a curveball, sure, but it's fun to me. It was fun kind of deconstructing all of this. So first thing that when I was doing this and when I was thinking is I tried to make sense of geography, because it is explained, that on the first plane is Taishran, on central plane are high mages, and on the back ranks are Kader mages. Unfortunately, this didn't give me enough information. It was kind of dead end to me. It didn't give me too much. But then I started looking into warrens, and that's where my theory was born. So I'm gonna now walk you through step by step of what happened in my own theory. First thing, of course, is Taishran is attacking Lord of Moonspawn. So everybody is attacking also this Lord. When Lord strike back, he is attacking actually hill of the Taishran. And for the most of the battle, whenever Tatter looks at Taishran, he is actually defending or attacking Moonspawn. So to me, in my eyes, this indicates that Taishran didn't have time to do or attack anybody else. And later we will find out who this Lord is. This Lord is really powerful. And I really don't believe that Taishran had power to fight with him, plus to do much else other than that. So keep in mind, that is my first point. So everything that happened in the back of those murders, it's not about Taishran. So let's go to the first event. First, it is said that Haylock is killed by ice magic. Like, it wasn't directly, implied that it was ice, but it said that cold wave of magic swept through them when, Haylock was cut in half. This indicates ice magic. The only guy that I kinda connected to be with ice magic is Belurdan. Why Belurdan? Well, because he is Teloman. And he said that they are kinda descendants of Jagut. And Jaguts are later known to be, masters of the ice magic Omtos Pelak. So maybe Teloman magic is just a version of ice magic. So my version, first casualty Haylock is dead by Belurdan. Second casualty was Kalot, and it's also described when, magic swept past through them, it was bright fire that killed him. So who has fire magic? Well, it's Acaronis. It's said that Acaronis is high mage who is really powerful with fire magic. So now we need to think of reasons why did those high mages attack Kader mages. That's first thing. And second thing is, after that, Night Chill is attacked by some demon. Okay, so here is the real mystery behind my strategy. Night Chill wanted to backstab everybody because she has really big, important reason why she wants to do that. I don't know if we should spoiler this or maybe not.
She wants something that...
Yes,
that
Lord has one item and she wants this badly. The way she will get to the Lord is if she betray army and she can get closer to the Lord. So that's, I think, enough that we should say that. People that were close to her are Belurdan and Acaronis, and they were both in with her for this plan. However...
You think they also decided to backstab?
Yes,
Malazans.
Belurdan, of course, Belurdan killed Haylock.
Okay, Belurdan is
Yes, he's her lover and he killed, Haylock. Acaronis is also, he was with them for some time, it's said. Those three mages were together.
But why did... But here is my problem with your theory. Sorry to interrupt you. Acaronis died by ice magic also, so that means, by your logic, Belurdan attacked and killed him.
Let me just go little by little, step by step.
Sorry.
So,
Man.
Now we know that high mages are the one that betrayed everybody. Belurdan killed Haylock, Acaronis killed Kalot. Okay, so why? Well, Night Chill and all of them three were, making this plan from the beginning. However, Acaronis was true to the Malazan Empire. He knew that they were backstabbed, but he knew also if he defied them right there, that they would kill him. Acaronis is not powerful enough to defeat Night Chill. He's not powerful enough, I think, to even kill Belurdan. He knows that. So the only way that he can kill them or strike them is if he somehow, backstab them. So it's almost like he's double agent here. So he tells to Taishran about their plan. Taishran, of course, make certain preparation, and he gives him vial. And later we learn that Taishran has these, I don't know, like some sort of vials where he spawned these demons. He gives this vial to Acaronis and tells him to use him, when he can, basically, when it's safe for him to use it.
So just interrupt you 1 second before I lose you. So you said to me that he killed Kalot just for
Yes,
appearance
because if he
sake.
don't do that, he's going to die. If he's, because he cannot one-on-one, head-on kill either Nightchill or Belurdan. So in order for them to trust Acaronis, he needs to do this attack. Also, he needs Nightchill to turn away. So this is their plan. Belurdan and Acaronis will deal with Kader mages. And Nightchill will deal with Taishran. So that's their plan. So once everybody turned their back and everybody did their attack, he had time. Just as Nightchill was going to attack Taishran, he had time to summon Demon behind her back, when she didn't expect it. Of course, Demon kill her. Belurdan sees this. He goes and kills this Demon, and then this is the moment where my theory has big hole. Acaronis is summoning some fire magic, and instead of what would logically be, normal, instead of attacking Belurdan, he actually, pointed, or I'm not sure if he points it. I was reading this sentence and, it's not clear actually what happens, but basically he kinda attack Moonspawn. And that doesn't make sense. He should actually be attacking Belurdan. But as he's, channeling this magic of fire, it's like, I don't know, maybe a huge ball, he dies from ice magic. So in my theory, Belurdan kills Demon, and then after that he kills also Acaronis. And that's the end of my theory.
Another question that I have for your
Yes.
theory. Why, after battle is over, why Taishran don't kill Belurdan?
Well, first of all, here is the thing. We don't really know much about Taishran at this point. But Taishran is the guy he's really weird. And he has certain traits that I cannot say right now. What is his personality? But here's another thing. Taishran is really smart, and he knew that this plan was from Nightchill, and Belurdan is just her lover. He doesn't gain anything by killing him, and Belurdan doesn't have power to challenge Taishran. So simply, he would gain nothing by killing Belurdan. All brain, everything of this plan was Nightchill. So once she died, his job was basically over. And also you can see that Belurdan was really angry, and he killed Demon and he killed Acaronis. And after that he kinda stopped doing anything. Because Belurdan, he doesn't have any plan. He doesn't move from his own reasons. He just moves what his lover tells him. After she dies, Belurdan is simply, he's not really smart to do this, what I'm trying to say.
He was doing that for Nightchill. It's not a bad
It
theory, but I feel that it has more holes than.
Look at this is what I'm gonna say. Official theory has a time hole. My theory has a character hole.
When I say my theory, it's not really my theory. It's widely accepted theory. Has hole that can be explained in two ways. It's either Tatter is kinda shell-shocked, which she is, or Steven Erikson made mistake. Your theory has, I think, little bit more holes. For example, first, for me, if there is ice magic involved, for me it would be logical that somebody named Nightchill use magic.
Yeah.
I mean Nightchill.
Yeah, but Jagut doesn't have anything ice in their name.
I agree. To be honest, I didn't, even think about that. I agree. But also, why would Acaronis shoot
At
fire
Moonspawn, at that point.
and Moonspawn when Belurdan
I
was
don't
still
know.
alive?
That is the hole in my theory. And problem is, I was reading that passage so many times, and I was trying to make sense of it.
And another problem, I don't know if you noticed that, but later when Tatter said to Belurdan, Taishran betrayed us, he did that. Belurdan said that Taishran would never do that.
But you know why? Because Belurdan saw who threw the vial. He saw it was Acaronis.
Actually, maybe that's point in your
I
favor.
mean, you know, I looked at my theory and I found logical reason for pretty much everything except for one moment when a Caronis shoot at Moonspawn. And I would love if, you know, somebody would. Maybe we don't understand English enough to understand that moment because maybe he wasn't shooting at Moonspawn. Maybe he was creating magic that engulfed Moonspawn, but he could redirect it at Bellerton. But maybe he simply, you know, didn't have time. Thing is, you know, every theory has holes, but this is just, you know, one of the crazy ones.
Yes, and this is one of the things, one of the rare things that is kind of left unexplained in these books. Eventually, every question that you have, you will be able to answer it in eventual
There's
books.
very little loose ends.
Yes, this is one of the rare loose ends in this series.
And
that
maybe it's not
actually
loose end
exists.
if we just accept the official version that Momo said. You know, it's pretty acceptable. Simply, Tattersail was confused and she confused the
Yes.
order of events. And that version is perfectly fine.
Yeah, no, I like your theory, to be honest. I still prefer mine.
Yes, but you know what I'm really interested in? I'm interested if other people, and hopefully our listeners, have some even better theories. So guys, if you have any theory, or if you wanna comment on our theories or anything related to Siege on Pale, please write us either in email, or you can, you know, simply leave a comment on YouTube channel. And, you know, we just wanna discuss, we wanna enter in conversation in any way possible about this. So, you know, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, guys, I really wanted to do first two chapters and prologue in this first episode, but as you can see, we are already over the allotted time, so we will leave kind of second part of this chapter 2 for next episode.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't even know how long we were recording this. I'm afraid to look at the clock.
It's a lot. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hoped there was at least one question that we answered that you had.
Yeah, leave us pretty much any feedback.
Yes, any feedback would be grateful. This is our first time doing this kind of thing, and every feedback is useful to us. So thank you, and see you in next episode.